Great, yeah. So this is part 7. Here's the URL. This is the production URL for this psychiatric site that I've been building. This is a real site for a real client, and you can see I did some stuff off the stream. I did like some Google domain name server magic and set up the SSL certificate. So that involved like a bunch of like secrets and like data that I don't want to share publicly. But basically, here's the URL that is going to be our production URL. And you can see I have this under construction page. And I have this secret access code that will let you see what it looks like. We're going to be able to see what it looks like. Like, I don't care if you see what it looks like. It's just that it's under construction. So I wouldn't want like massive Google traffic going and seeing it before it's ready. But like during the stream, that's kind of the point. You're seeing it being built, right? And so what is today's goal? Today's goal is to get it demo ready for final demo. And final demo is supposed to be this weekend. And you know, the client can add edits if they'd like. But if they are happy, then we remove the under construction page, and voila, we are open to the world. So possibly, optimistically, you'll be able to access this without the access code next week. All right, before we dive in, we already have our first question on TikTok, so let's look at this question and then we'll dive into the code. Tony says, hey, quick question, I'm a CS student, but I don't understand what an API is. Can you explain it? Yeah, so an API is an application programming interface. It is the way that you communicate with a program. Programming interface means like how I can give information in and how the system can provide information out. So you can think of it like an I/O model, input, output. What's the difference between that and a function? It basically is a function, but you have a function with an interface definition. So you get to know specifically how to pass arguments in, like what are the argument names. That is part of your API definition, basically. Yeah, hopefully that answers it. Matt says, I am a HAD. A-H-A-D. I don't know. I don't get it. Apache server. Cool. All right, so let's dive in here. Open VS Code. Sounds like a good first step. Yeah, HK Psych. So you can see the folder name here is different than in the previous stream. So this is like part 7. So in part 5 and 6 and so forth, you will have seen a different folder name. And that is because previously we were working on the template. And now in this private repository, we have implemented the template. So we're going to be working here in this private repository. It is not a fork. It is not a clone. It is a... we used to call this ripping back in the day, where you would like basically copy an open source repository and re-upload it as a new project. I guess we still call it ripping, but I guess it's like you can also say that it's an implementation of a template now, and that's like less intimidating or something. Ripping has this connotation of like stealing illegal data. Like you might rip like an MP3, which is like you buy the CD at the store and then you like copy the files onto your computer, or you might rip a video game, etc. It's weird to use the terminology of ripping an open source template because like it's open source, but like technically we're doing the same thing. Cool. And so there are differences, but the differences are not seamlessly synchronized. One of the big differences is that this private repository has an under construction component. And the under construction component depends on an environment variable that is set in Netlify, in the Netlify GUI. You can put your environment variables there. They make it really quick and easy. And basically it's like a password. It's like an admin password that will let you get to the site, even though it's currently under construction. That does not exist within the template repo. So if this was a fork rather than a rip, it would be really easy for me to pull requests back to the the upstream origin, the place that I took the fork from. But it's more cumbersome. It's much more cumbersome when you do a rip. Basically, this is kind of like you copied the open source project to a new repo. So I now have to copy the new code back to the old, like copy it outside of Git. And then create a branch or a fork in the template repository, paste it, pull request it over there. So there's some additional steps. We may or may not get to that tonight, but I do think it's an enhancement to the template is to have this pretty generic under construction component. All right, cool. What are you building? A psychiatric website. So let me grab, take this off screen real quick and grab that password. It's in my secrets file. And here you can see like the template. This is like the template secrets file, right? So it's you just change this to be something else. Okay, cool. So then I should be able to paste it here. I'll let you in on a, oh wow. Okay, that did not hide it. Okay, so we know two things. First of all, I need to change the password now because everyone knows the password. All right, cool. And two, the access code needs to be a protected field. So let's go do that now. Cool, so I just need to change the type from text to password, I believe. Save that. What's in front of us is not CSS. This is JSX, which is an HTML-like syntax, but it's actually just JavaScript. It's not technically HTML. So this is the main syntax used to create React components, and in particular functional React components. Okay, cool. Open up a terminal. We are in the HK Psych folder. Psych. Double check my package JSON so I can remember the command. I think it's just dev. Yeah. So I'll npm run dev. Why no Tailwind or component libraries? Just to keep it lightweight. Just to keep it lightweight. The look and feel of the site is not that complex, so I didn't feel a need to drag it in. And then something like Material. I'm just not following the look and feel of Material, so it's actually like more effort to bring in Material and then reskin the Material components. It's just more effort. So Tailwind, I don't think I'd have that problem, but yeah, I don't know. It slows me down a little bit. It's not a big deal, but it's like it slows me down a little bit and I don't need it. It slows the website down a little bit and I don't need it. Cool, so localhost is up. Oh, and what I'm testing is, yeah, so let's go to localhost. So that was the production site. Now let's go to localhost. Will you explain JWT? A JSON Web Token is, it's a token. It's a string that is attached to your HTTP request that can be parsed typically using base64, although you can choose an alternate encoding if you'd like. And you can just maintain the state of your application there inside of your token. So yeah, so if you don't want to store things in memory on the server, so you want to have like a stateless server like you're using a Lambda, you don't want to like necessarily use a database, you don't want to store it on the client, you can store it in this JWT token layer. Pretty good for session management. They're really good to help the server and the client maintain a common session. Okay, cool. So we can see that now it's got these like dots, right? So it's like hidden or obfuscated. Oh, is that the wrong password? Dang, what's my password? I don't know my own password. Oh, yes I do. Okay, that's when I was grabbing the field name. So here's the password. Oh no, it's leaked. We already knew that, right? I'll change it after the stream, but if you would like to quote unquote hack the website during the stream, you're more than welcome to. I also don't want it to do this auto suggestion. I'm hoping that when I tell it it's a password, it won't do the auto suggestion anymore. So this is prod, right? So I haven't shipped the change to prod, but how you use it, you paste it here in the access code. Secret between us, the email is totally ignored. It just makes it look like, to the casual visitor, it makes it look like an email, like a username password situation. But in fact, it's only the access code that matters. Oh, right. So, okay, so this is not being used in production. There's a Netlify GUI that's used in production. This is being used, okay. There's no, yeah. So this is just being used in dev, I think. But yeah, once you log in, quote unquote, this is what you see. Let me, and if you refresh it, it's not true authentication. It's just a simple, test. That's not the main utility of JWT. It's for authentication. No, it's for sharing state between the client and the server. And in particular for session management, yeah, authentication is like a lot of sessions are authenticated, but like a lot of sessions are not authenticated. So no, I don't think it's correct to say the main utility of JWT is for authentication. I don't think that's correct. The main utility is for sharing state between a client and a server, following the HTTP protocol. Yeah. In a stateless way. So neither the client nor the server in particular needs to own the state. Cool. Yeah, so this is like without the exclamation point. Here you can see on the server, it seems like it's with an exclamation point. That's going to be changing after the stream. And if you refresh, it comes right back, but this is just the value of the environment variable that we set here, or in the Netlify GUI in the case of prod. And yeah, we confirmed, we got it, we got the password there. So that'll be good. Let's commit this. So this will be feet treat access code as password, or like obfuscate access value. Access code, obfuscate code value. That makes sense. Cool, and we can push that, and I think, let's double check, but I think I get all the benefits of like Netlify hooks. So this is a, you can see a private repository. And 16 seconds ago, obfuscate code value. So here's this. Let's go check Netlify. And then we're going to hook up Luminello here shortly. And this is irrelevant. Cool, cool. So now you can see I set up a different Netlify pipeline. So there's kind of like the open source project one, and then here is the private repo one. But it deploys from GitHub, so it should have the hooks, yeah, configured, and you can see it's building. Netlify really takes a lot of care of a lot of it for you. What was that in Google? It was IPFS. It's a decentralized file server. IPFS is a decentralized Ethereum-based file server. It doesn't matter though. Cool. Yeah, so this is building. Let's click it. Let's see. Yeah, looks like it went through already. And you can see now it's obfuscated. The dev password doesn't work. The prod password is working. Cool. And now it says, do you want to save your password using the Chrome password manager? I'm going to close that. But it does not, when I click here, it does not suggest it based on previously entered values. So that's more secure, right? Better. Can't see. Yeah, I know, it's annoying. You'll be able to see the whole screen. On TikTok, I have to like adjust my phone. It's like super annoying, so I don't always do it. I should get like a better phone. I'm gonna get a new iPhone later this year, but Anyway, and one of those wide angle lenses. But for now, got to do what we got to do. You can also go yell at TikTok and say, hey, let people stream from their desktop to the cell phone, because they don't let us do that right now. Cool, so prod got updated with the password. What are we doing? I want to put in the content. So I'm going to go over here to my other, my email basically. I have that on the other screen because I don't want y'all like really looking at my email. But basically the client emailed me some content, namely some pictures, and some text. So like her name's not really LaFont. This is all boilerplate. So we're going to update all of this stuff and the pictures and so forth. It's peer-to-peer based, right? Not Ethereum based. I think you meant that by used by smart contracts. Yeah, IPFS should be using the Ethereum blockchain, is it not? It is peer-to-peer, but how? IPFS. Interplanetary file system. Yeah. Is a protocol and peer-to-peer network for storing blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's all true, but how's it implemented? Implementation. Let's see. IPF, it's 2015. The Catalan independence referendum. This is like so off topic and I don't care. Whatever. Filecoin is, okay. I think it's Filecoin. So is Filecoin an Ethereum token or not? Okay, so, oh yeah, oh, it is possible to host and serve websites. Okay, so here's one of the reasons that it's related to Ethereum. Serve decentralized websites using IPFS and the Ethereum name service. Domain names on the Ethereum blockchain. So that's one thing, but that's not actually what I was thinking of. Let's see Filecoin. Is Filecoin an Ethereum token? Built on top of IPFS. So I guess it's its own, is it its own blockchain then? Okay, so it kind of integrates with the Ethereum blockchain, but it's not the same as the Ethereum blockchain, it seems. Is IPFS Ethereum? Is IPFS on Ethereum? A decentralized storage and file referencing system for Ethereum. I don't know. You know, if y'all are smarter than me, go figure it out. So it integrates with the Ethereum blockchain, but is it actually on top of the Ethereum blockchain, or is it like a sibling? I don't know. Maybe it's a sibling. Cool. No, it's not a blockchain. Yeah, NFTs use IPFS a lot, but that's just one of the use cases. Yeah. You can upload any file you want to it. It's like a shared file system. It's a decentralized file system. Okay, so according to user 846, etc., it's off-chain. The whole thing about IPFS is that it's off-chain. Cool. So it integrates with Ethereum, but it's not built on top of Ethereum. Good to know. All right, let's actually get back to the point of the stream. This is not a crypto stream. Okay. Cool, so prod is up. This is the staging site. I don't need the staging site. Here's dev. Sorry for distracting. No worries. I mean, you taught me something. It was interesting, so thanks. All about time boxing, right? Rabbit trails are fine as long as you can time box them. Kind of fun. Rabbit trails are pretty fun as long as you don't let them take over. Okay, so this is like the client requested palette. It's a tricolor palette, so I think we're going to add black and white on top, and then we'll be good to go. And face reveal, yes, you're going to see, it's a professional website, so you're going to see the face of my client. And I think she's pretty open about her name, at least her last name. First initial H, last name Calendarian, MD for medical doctor, right? So Dr. Calendarian. Let's refer to her that way. Cool. So you will get to see the face of Dr. Calendarian. Let me open up my files. Psych, HK psych. Okay, so yeah, here's the public folder. So literally just going to take from the email these pictures over here. There's 3 of them, so that's 1. What were the others called? Let's see. Picture 2, picture 3. Gotta love that she named them picture 1, 2, 3. That makes it easier. They're like it. They group together. Okay. I'm going to rename them to be lowercase, no spaces, dashes, home areas of practice. And let's prefix them with home. I think that makes sense. Home, meet Dr. K. Let's see. Undo, homepage, right? Yeah. Control Y. So these are homepage pictures, and then here is the about page. So this is about Dr. K sitting. Okay. Cool. By the way, my TikTok, like my phone battery just said it's at 10%. So I have it hooked up to this charger, but it might be like how about now? Okay, that'll get it through the webcam. Okay, I guess we'll use my webcam microphone. Why is my normal mic not working? That's awful. I wonder how much of the stream I just lost. Yikes. Okay, basically average. Thank you for letting me know. Coming in clutch again. Your microphone just died. I mean, I guess the good news is it seems like the mic only died within the past few minutes, which is reassuring compared to the option where the microphone has not been working from the start of stream. I can hear you now. Audio is just kind of bad. Sorry about that. I'll try and run it. Like, honestly, I might need to get a new headset. Check this out. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see that the headset is like fraying around the corners? So I've had the same headset for like 4 years now. And then TikTok can still hear me. That's great. Thank you all so much. Developer.javascript. Welcome to the show. Do you have a full curriculum for Latterly? I just signed up and only saw like 5 videos. Yeah, so Latterly Slides GitHub repo is where the curriculum is. It's all in text right now. The videos are a work in progress. Yeah, you've seen the extent of what I have. I only have like 5 videos available. But stay tuned. Ironically, microphone died right before you saw my message and said hi. That is so hilarious. Basically average, I feel like I know you like from, what's that game? Shoot, I haven't played it in a minute now. Anyway, Slays at gaming though, so it's great to see you dropping by the coding stream. Yeah, Jew Herd. I don't know if your name is Jew Herd or if that's like initials, JUH something, but says, okay, I'm excited. Yeah, please stay tuned. And like these streams weekly, I'll be working on the turning the curriculum into videos and also updating the curriculum. You know, I update that curriculum all the time. League of Legends, yeah, thanks. Which I'm still a noob at, but I'll get back in the swing of things. Obviously, like I'm working on like paid client projects, so that takes a priority. But when this is done, I may have some other work lined up, or I may go back to gaming. Cool. All right, back to the task. So we just need to plug these in. Here is the password. That's not going to work. This is prod anyway. Right. So this. And what was the order that these are supposed to go in? Which one is the top one and which one is the bottom one? Yeah, areas of practice goes with our specialties. Cool. So that will be the second pick, and then the first pick will be called Meet Dr. K. So let's do it. I'm going to Control-Shift-F, and I'm looking for the name of the previous file, which is like conversations. Conversation. Yep. And here we can see within the HK Psych, it's also showing up in the template site, but that's not the one I'm dealing with. So here's the conversation.jpg. We're going to change that to areas of practice, is it? Let's see. Home areas of practice.jpg. I can nuke the conversation. I should also update the Favicon. Okay, cool. So we should see that update. And we do. And the sizing of it is goofed. Okay, so let's offset this image. Object fit is cover. Let's see. Should I use translate? I might have to Google some CSS here. Let me see if I'm already doing this with a different one. Just finished playing a concert, so I'm gonna head out for a bit. Cool, cool. See you later. Hey, send me a link sometime if you're like ever record those concerts. That's pretty cool. All right, so let's Google it. CSS, image, offset, background position. That's what it is, yeah. Background position, and we'll just guess and check basically, but I'm gonna start with a 50%. So background position. Whoa, did that just work? Ah, no, it's depending on my width of my screen, so that feels bad. So let's see. After it snaps on the breakpoint, it looks goofy. I want something that looks good. Let's do it like this. Oh, it's not a background position anyway. Position, image. Is it image position? In the background, yeah. This is still a div approach. Clip path. Support for clip path is pretty weak. So I have object fit cover. I think it's related to that. Object position. 50%. 50%. Did that change anything? Let's go pixels instead of percent, 10 pics. Yeah, okay, so the pixels is moving it. Cool. What Met keyboard do you use? I'm using the Razer keyboard. Okay, so we can see it moving like that. I actually think the horizontal offset is fine. So I'm going to go for 0 and then 50 pics. Maybe negative 50 pics. I want to get more table, basically. Whoa, I need to do like negative 100 pics. Let's go back to percentage. I think that's a cleaner approach. Cool. All right, so this seems like, see, that looks good. All right, so we'll offset it. 60% feels kind of arbitrary. How about 50%? I don't know. I kind of like the look of the 60% offset more. Get a little more of that book in there. 65% object offset. So this is an example of like one of those things that's kind of arbitrary for your client site that you would not want to incorporate into a template. So we do need to discriminate between things that are like generically useful and things that are like only useful for a certain client. So object position offs, yeah, so I got this style on my clipboard. Let me try closing this. Does it still look good? I think it looks good enough. I think it looks good enough. And then let's see if it passes the breakpoint snapping pop. And I think it looks good enough. Yeah, there's a bit of pixelation, so maybe I need a higher res image, but it looks good enough. So this is the areas of practice style right here, object fit, and now we want object position. And it was 0, 65%. Cool, so we saved that. Let's refresh the page. Make sure everything persisted. What's my access code? I'll grab it out of the config right here. So there it is, loaded up, and looks good to me. LGTM. Cool. All right, now let's swap out this one. Oh, I don't like the pink space that's arising there. I want it to stay, I want it to take the full vertical area all the way to the snap. Let's see, did that fix it? Okay, so I see the trade-off now. I wanted it to take up the full width and height, and it's telling me I can only pick one. I don't want to pick one, I want both. Positive Seeker, hello, is this HTML code Dreamweaver? So this is not Dreamweaver, the IDE that I'm using is called VS Code. And this is not HTML, although it's very similar to HTML, so you can treat it as more or less, you know, if in your mental model, it basically does the same thing and it follows a similar syntax. But technically, this is JSX, which is it's JavaScript that follows an HTML-like syntax. So we're using React. Cool. So I like the width 100%, but I also want height 100%. I want both. Can I have both? Damn. Yeah, it's like not letting me pick both. I think the height is more important to me, even though I want both. Because the gap is just really ugly, right? That gap right there is just really ugly. And the gap on the right-hand side, let's see. Wait, how did it just go away? It's like it went away. What did I do? Oh, yeah. So, bam. Yeah, so the gap on the right-hand side there, I think it's not ideal, but I think it's substantially more acceptable than the vertical gap. Okay, so we'll just alter that. No bigs. Where's the width rule? So there's a 100%. It's not going to be on the under construction page. It's going to be here on the home page, which is index. So we'll swap out the 100%. Oh, it's in the header, hero header. Let's go over to the hero header, swap out the, it's in the CSS. No. Mobile hidden cover image, so it's in the cover image class. Cool, so it's over here in the globals. We're going to switch width for height. I'm also going to drop this in my template repo just so I don't forget to import it back over. Did you learn this on your own? I mean, yes and no. So I'm a self-taught developer. I don't have a CS degree, but you have people that help you. You take some courses here and there, and you know, it's not like I invented programming. If you're looking for a resource where to go to learn, I'll give you two. One is Codecademy. And then the other is the link in my bio. Free Code Camp is all right. I guess if you want a third choice, there will be my third choice, but they're really not my top choice. Cool. So now we need to swap out the picture. So the picture that I want for my hero image is not this Unsplash. It is home meet Dr. K.jpg. Bam. Okay, thanks. Very, very welcome. Thanks for being here. Cool. So yeah, that's a really skinny, tall picture. So whatever, I'll demo it to her and she's probably gonna ask for revision on that. Or I don't know, maybe she's fine with that. Empty real estate, let's call it. Although frankly, I don't like it. And what if we flip it to be width 100%, then the proportions are gonna be goofed, right? Because it's so tall and skinny. Yeah. Object position. That's pretty good if we just kind of zoom it in like that. Well, that's not very good. I think the best thing to do is to crop the picture. So let me do that. So I will maintain an original so that at demo time I can say, hey, you know, here's the original you sent me. But for our purposes, let's make it a bit more of a headshot. Zoom this out. I'm really not a great designer, but you know, at some point you gotta have some of these tricks. Is this for a customer? Yep. What type of programming, C++ or Java? No, this is using React. So let's make it more of a headshot, maybe clip it like top of the chest kind of thing, and then a little off the top. I mean, that's fine there, right? I think that's fine there. Cool. The only problem is that this one is called original when it's really not the original. So I edited the wrong one, basically. So let's fix the name. Naming things is super hard because I'm dumb. All right, cool. So there's the original, and then there is the best way to learn JavaScript for web scraping, botting, automation, etc. Yeah, that's a really different use case. So I tell everyone to start with building websites. And once you've built a website, you're going to understand how to do scraping selectors very well. and then you're gonna need to learn Node and like Puppeteer. That's the way I'd recommend you do it, but you know, it's gonna take you a little bit because you're gonna have to learn the front end first. But that is how I'd recommend it. So yeah, start with Codecademy front end path. After you learn the front end, then learn Node.js on the back end and figure out how to use Puppeteer. Cool, so I think that looks better, arguably, possibly. It's still a lot of empty real estate on the left and right. How much JavaScript did you learn before getting into React? A lot. So I was coding for probably 3 years before I learned any React. You don't need to do that though. Like, you can get into React after you've learned JavaScript. You can get into React within, you know, a month of learning JavaScript. I just didn't need to do that in my career. Like, React is cool now, but it wasn't cool like back in the day. Okay, so I'm thinking this looks good. You know what? I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I could try and like micro optimize it to my tastes, and then the client might be like, I want something else. So let's just get it in place and then get the edits from the client. Using a huge image isn't a bad idea, question marks, since it takes longer to read. Yes, it is a bad idea. What's the deadline and is the pay good? The deadline is whenever I want because I'm freelancing. I have a self-imposed target of this weekend. Is the pay good? It's good enough for me. Cool. All right, I'll do another reminder to head over to YouTube or Twitch if you want to see the whole screen, because TikTok, it has a limited view. Thanks for the follow. And thank you for all the likes. Looks like over 700 likes now. That's great. Okay, next thing, we got 1, 2. Let's get the About page picture. Here's the About page. So there's the boilerplate About with the bacon ipsum. Love that. And yeah, so the About, we can inspect it. It'll tell us the name of the Unsplash image. So Unsplash has those like royalty-free stock images. I'm going to swap that for our About page picture. How do you plan a complex project? Do diagrams help? If so, which ones? Yeah, diagrams can help. Which ones? Yeah, there are three diagrams that I think are most important. Let me get this image tag working. 1 second. Yeah, it's the slash that I forgot. Okay. One is an information architecture, so that will map out your. Hey, if you can go back to my TikTok and like ask this as a question so I can remember to do a little TikTok video on it, like top 3 diagrams, that'll be really important. So one is called an information architecture. This like shows which pages as a user you're going to visit browser pages and what pages go to what other pages and then what components exist on each page. That's called an information architecture. Another is called an ERD. This is an entity relation diagram. If I got that right, I might have gotten that wrong. Let's see. It's a database diagram. And this is like for your entity relationship diagram. This is for your database. And it's kind of similar to an information architecture for your database. Instead of like what web pages go to what other web pages, it's like what data tables go to what other data tables. That's an ERD. And then your architecture, like your infrastructure, cloud infrastructure diagram is really important. Those would be the 3, for sure. I heard UML diagrams are good. Let's see. I think ERD is going to be just as. I think ERD is going to be just as fine. Unified modeling language. Yeah, these are basically the same. So the difference would be that UML is done at the model level, ERD is done at the database level, but they're the same thing. They're the same thing. So you'll be good with either one of those. Cool. This is the wrong picture. Right, okay. So here's the about page. We put in meet Dr. K. That's the wrong picture. The correct picture is about Dr. K sitting. Hey, so about Dr. K sitting. I will ask that question, what TikTok shall I do it on? Any of them on my channel. There's also like this official like Q&A thing, right? I don't know if you know how to use that, but if not, just like, I don't know, maybe my most recent video would be fine. Thank you so much, and thanks for being here and being active and great questions. I appreciate it. Okay. So there is Dr. K sitting, and then let's also do that for the services page, right? I might be deleting the services page for this client. I should double check that requirement. There was one of the pages, she was like, I don't need that page. Okay, Dr. K sitting. Look at that, a great, you know, it's tall, it's a tall picture, but it works on this page. Awesome, I'm here for it. This might be my favorite page. Okay, cool. We also need to update the colors and the text content. And we want to update the favicon. So the favicon is a P. I want it to be an HK, favicon generator from text, let's say. We just do HK. Font family, let's do, what is it called? Oh, I can't remember what they're called. Apple default font. Open Sans? Yeah, this is San Francisco. I think Open Sans will be fine. Open Sans. Yep, looks good. I want to give it some margin. I don't like that it's like right against the walls. Or maybe that's okay, because like maybe when it's in, oh, look at this website. This website's cool. It dynamically previews the favicon. Would you be adding WordPress CMS for the client? No, not in this case. That would be overkill in this case. So this is following Jamstack architecture, so the content is just using, in theory, it could be using a markdown file, but I don't think I actually implemented that. Let's take it from 110 down to 100. Yeah, down to 90. That looks great, right? Let's try 80. Whoa. What the what? I must have been holding the control key and pushed a number, my bad. 80. 80, I think, looks even better than 90, yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. I was holding the control key. Let's try 85. I think I'll go with 85. The big one looks good either way, but the smaller ones, the 85 looks better. Okay, and then let's pick a color from her palette. This is not the one that she sent. This is. Let's go for that either artichoke or desert sand. We'll try both. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, sorry. Refresh the page. I just want to copy, yeah, copy the hex. Oh, and we can do both, I guess. So the background is artichoke, and then the text is desert sand. Oops. No, not here for it. Not here for it. What if the text is Timberwolf? This middle color. I still think it's kind of hard to read. Let's go white. We also have black and white. Black. And I'm looking at the preview. White looks the easiest to read, so far I'm favoriting this. Let's try switching the artichoke back for the desert sand. And yeah, it's a little bit hard to see because it's kind of like light on light. So I think this is the winner. I think this is the winner. A master page for the, I'm going to make a website portfolio. I'm going to use vanilla front end, but is there a way to add a master page for the nav and footer? Yes, there is. That is an excellent question. Wow. If this was an open stream, I would build you one right now. Check out my GitHub. So I have this GitHub, right? You can look at my portfolio, vanilla flat white. So check out micro projects in Vanilla.js, vanilla flat white, and you will be able to see how to do vanilla JavaScript and HTML and have a consistent nav bar. Basically, you just have to copy and paste. You just copy and paste the header into each file. Let's see, where's that nav? Yeah, so you see, you basically just copy and paste the nav. Now, if you want to do it in a dry way, don't repeat yourself. You extract a common component and you use it in a reusable way. That's what templating frameworks are for. So you would not be doing that vanilla. So if you're going to do it vanilla, totally support you. You just need to, it's going to be a simple website, so IDK if I should use React. Yeah, go for vanilla, that's fine. No, I'm a big fan of don't do overkill. Don't over-engineer, don't over-architect. You ain't going to need it. Use it when you need it. But I also do respect the dry principles. So if you're like, should I use React? If you're using the same component over and over, that's what React is for. So you kind of answered your own question. If you're not repeating components, React maybe doesn't make sense. There's other reasons to use React, but on that analysis anyway. Yeah, so how dry do you want to be? That's debatable. You know, if you repeat something once, does that call for a framework? No. 3, arguably yes. I'll say this: by the time you've repeated your component 4 times, like, you should extract it. In the case of, unless, like here in the case of vanilla flat white, I intentionally designed it to be frameworkless. So that's kind of a unique, let's say, an idiosyncratic project. Would a static site generator be used for something like this? It depends what you mean by something like this. If you're referring to vanilla flat white, no. If you're referring to this psychiatric website that I'm building, yes. This is a static website. Jamstack is a static website architecture, yes. But it's also like, where are you at in your coding journey? Start with the basics, you know? You need to know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript before you dive into React. And Create React app is like not great for static generation. You can do it, but it's not ideal. Something that's more ideal is something like Next.js. But Next.js is even more complicated than basic React. So one step at a time, huh? Okay. We got this about page. What's on my clipboard? A color. Okay, because I wanted the Favicons. Let's download these Favicons. Bam, download it. Favicon.zip. Whoa, whoa. Can I just use it? Can I just do one of these? Pow. Let me see if I can just refresh my page now. Boop. The old Favicon is still there, isn't it? Yeah, the old Favicon is still here. Y. How about now? No favicon registered. I don't know the point of where I should go from vanilla. I don't know the point of where I should go from vanilla to React. I use vanilla, but I end up with big CSS and HTML file that are messy. The point where you should go from vanilla to React, there are, it's when you find yourself using a significant amount of the DOM API, the JavaScript DOM API. React is a rendering library. It basically makes it basically abstracts the DOM API. That's what I would argue. So if you're adding elements, removing elements dynamically with JavaScript, you're going to be using the DOM API. Probably pivot over to React at that point. Oh, we're over 1,000 likes. Thank you so much, everyone. Hey, you'll be able to see the screen better if you go over to YouTube, just letting you know. Is there a way to organize HTML and CSS files like an architecture standard? Yeah, folder-based. You get a little, yeah, I showed you this project, right? Vanilla flat white, check it out. You see source, and then basically each of these is a page. So the stolen turkey is like one page. And there you go. One page, one HTML file. See you on YouTube. Thanks, Jay Dunny. Thank you so much. And then Jazz It Up. Thank you for the follow. Yo Brevagood. Basically, the answer is HTML is self-organizing, right? Every page has to be its own HTML file. And those HTML files have to be nested in folders to get the browser paths to work. So now, if you dive into this HTML page, and if you have like a ginormous HTML page and it's all crazy in here, maybe you split it out. Maybe you split out your CSS files and whatever. Yeah, and if I mean, that's a good rule of thumb too. If you find that you have split out your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and that after splitting it out, it is still complicated, like the JavaScript file alone is super complicated. Maybe that's a sign that you should move over to a framework at that point, and you can further. It's definitely a sign that you should be breaking up your application. Yeah, if you have a JavaScript file that's so big that you have to break it up, I think I'm just thinking about this kind of off the cuff, but I think that's like a good flag that maybe you need to start considering it to be like a web application at that point. With CSS, I tried splitting up the CSS into each HTML component like buttons, its text box, etc. No, this is the wrong approach. See, what you're doing is you're componentizing HTML, and that doesn't make sense. If you're trying to componentize things, then you should be using a component framework, a component-based framework. HTML itself is not natively componentized. They're kind of like two different paradigms. So you see how I just have one giant index file? This would be like a monolithic, a non-componentized paradigm. If you want to split it up into buttons and stuff like that, now you're in a world, you're in component world. So you should be using a framework for sure at that point, I would recommend. Okay, back to the topic. Jay Dunny's over in YouTube. What's up? Thanks for joining. We got these icons. Got it, thanks. Very, very welcome, and thank you for the questions. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is just literally duplicate the 32 ping and call it Favicon .ico. And let me cancel that. I'm not going to do that yet. Let me see if I can rename Favicon .ico, if I can rename the zip to favicon.ico. Let's see if I can do that. Now gonna let me do that. Where is the access code? I forgot what it was. Tra la 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 la. Okay, so the Favicon is not working as a zip, and I'm not really sure that I expected it to. I forget. There's some way that you can get the like browser to recognize kind of like all of your Favicons. Favicon. But I'm cool with this for now, and then I can always do that iterative update later. So now I should have the Favicon. I don't even have the Favicon. Do I need to kill my server and restart it? Okay, there it is. I had to clear. Okay, interesting. Let me try one more thing. I had to do a hard reload. So let me undo this. Bring the zip file back, and let's see if I can do a hard reload with the zip. Favicon.ico. So I'm turning the zip to an ICO, and let me do a hard reload, and the HK is still there. Yeah, I think that might have worked. So I'm going to ship this to prod to see if it still works. I'm only going to ship the zip. And if it works, it works. And if it doesn't work, then I need to, then it's like some sort of like strange caching thing. So 1, 2, 3, these are what we are committing. We will tortoise git add. This is like a Windows thing. Don't worry about it. You can just use your regular git. So this will be like better Favicon, better, let's say better images, or like use real images. Give it a conventional commit, feat use real images. Is it possible to do image manipulation with JavaScript? Hells yeah, it is. Although just because it's possible doesn't make it a good idea. In many, many cases, CSS will have better performance than JavaScript. Okay, so I should be able to go over to my Netlify stuff, and it should have detected, yes, it already detected, feat use real images. We are rebuilding over there. Sick. Ill. Cool. So while that's ongoing, let's continue our development, our local development. So I'd like to get the color theme in, and then I'd like to get the text in. So let's go for the color theme right now. This pinkish color feels kind of close to this desert sand. It might even be the same color. I don't know. No, it's not. All right, so I'm going to inspect and hover to the div. There's different ways to identify this, but this is how I'm going to find the color. So this is the section, and you can see background color here. And it tells me it's in the hero header module CSS. So I go over to VS Code, Control P, hero header module CSS, HK. So I got this FFE2D6. I'm doing a project where I need to pull all images from 10K JSON files, then paste in specific layer based on the NFT. Zoom out a bit. Yeah, it's iPhone, man. I can't zoom out further. But check me out on YouTube. You'll get a better view. IDK of Python or JavaScript would be better to use. Yeah, I don't know offhand either in that use case. Could be either one. There's a lot of really good image manipulation libraries in Python. They're not going to be dynamic on the client side, but it doesn't sound like you need that. Cool. So we got this FFF thing. We found it, right? And now we're swapping it out for the palette color. Yeah, so it's a different one. Desert sand. What I'm going to do is add a comment. CSS comment. And let me grep all instances of this string before moving forward. Okay, so it's only used in one location, so I can drop it in there. I just don't want to be like only updating one use of the color. I want to update all uses of the color. Python is good for scraping. Yeah. Puppeteer is good for scraping, but Python's all right. Cool. That looks good. Now let's go decide where we're going to use this artichoke. Let's see, I think the Timberwolf works right here. So let's go get this color. Under computed, I'm not seeing it. Might have to use the eyedrop because I'm not seeing it. Go up another level, look at the whole section. I'm not seeing a computed color on the section. Let's go up another level. Is it on main? Is this the main color? Oh, you know what? I'm looking for the keyword color. I should be looking for background color. Oopsie. This background color is transparent. No background color there. No background color here or here. All right, let me go back to this section and actually look for the background color. Nope, I'm not seeing it. Not seeing it, not seeing it. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay, let's do an eyedrop. So to get the eyedrop, I can find any color. I'll find this red, for example. I'll tap the little red square there in DevTools. And it should give me the color picker, but let me go over to styles instead of computed. Yeah, then I can see this color picker, tap that, and there we go. So now I have the hex. I can Control-Shift-F, V, the hex. Okay, it's not found as hex. I'll drop it right here, tap this, undo that. Go back to Chrome. I have this color. I'm going to tap this and tap the hex itself. No, the up and down arrows to the right, and I'm going to try and find the RGB. So it gives me the RGBA. So I will take that. Yo, give me that RGBA. As soon as I clicked out, it went back to hex. Give me the RGBA, dog. Whatever. Okay, so I'll just remember it. So 248, 244. So let's grab that. Control-Shift-F, 248, 244. Let's add a space. I'm not finding it. Let's do a parenthesis, 248. Okay, so looks like this 248 thing is not found in my project. Oh, look at this. Different hexes. Oh, I have a gradient back there. That's what's going on. Well, I made that difficult. I made that difficult on myself. But I am remembering it now. So I can Control-Shift-F gradient. So we're not going to find the fixed hex value because I'm actually using a whole gradient. Not in the laterally slides, yeah. So there's only one place in the site where I'm using a gradient. And so we found it. So this is what we were looking for. And this is what I want to change. So previously I was targeting this color right here, and let's switch it over to target. I'm actually not sure I want a gradient. I might just want to target this hex straight up. Let's see how it looks. What do you think? I think it looks all right. Page wrapper, main wrapper. So it's the main wrapper. Page wrapper, main wrapper. Yeah, it's this whole big div. This whole big div. And it doesn't have a single background color. It has a gradient. So you might not notice it, but even this middle section is slowly turning from white to our themed color. And I think it looks good. And then you get down here and it's like very clearly the Timberwolf, and then you get a nice contrast with the sub-footer. Yeah, beautiful soup if you're gonna do Python scraping. Yeah, for sure. By the way, do you get paid hourly for freelancing? How does your hourly pay work? Can't you just work slower? Yeah, so that's a negative incentive, and so clients might want to price you on the project instead of the hour. The other thing, the way that I combat this usually is I give an hourly rate and then I give an hourly estimate, and then like basically there's an hourly cutoff. So if I go over a certain number of hours, then every other hour is going to be free. And that gives me a strong incentive to not sandbag, which is the term for slowing things down just to make more money. Definitely, definitely good consideration. Omar, this is a professional psychiatrist site is what we're building. Okay, cool. So we got that Timberwolf plugged in. Let me do a couple steps of undo to grab this RGB. I'm going to do Control-Shift-Z to redo, Control-Shift-F, paste. I'm going to drop the opacity here. And what I'm looking for is other uses of this RGB. And I found a few, right? And so now I want to go in and replace those with this hex color. Cool. So one is the colored row color. Yeah. Another is the strong link hover. I'm gonna keep this open because this could end up looking really bad. So we want to be sure about this. So let's go for the colored row color here. I should be able to see this, for example, in the about page. I'll paste this in a comment just so that I don't lose it because I need to go copy the config once again. The under construction password. Okay. And so this is the, you can see the alternating white color. So this is what's called a colored row. And I think it looks good. Now the question is requested console. When I hover there, there's three colors to consider. There's this dark gray foreground. There is the font text color, and then there is a light gray background. Do you use any CSS frameworks like Sass for this? No, this website's too small. I use frameworks in my other projects, not in this one. Try using Tailwind. It saves you a ton of time. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Tailwind is based off atomic styles. If I need an atomic style, I can just write one. You know, if it was a bigger project, maybe, but in this case, no. I will say the theming, like the colors that I'm doing right now, is one case where, yeah, it would be saving me time on that specifically. But overall, I don't think so. Okay, cool. So there's three colors right here. What is that background color? Let's see. So there's a box shadow. So the background is just black, so we're going to keep that. And then there is a box shadow. Maybe I want to alter the box shadow color. And then there is the font color. So I think I want to update the font color for sure, and then I'm not sure about the box shadow. So it's a shade of gray, which is a shade of black. So I think it works. They're on the same HSL. They're on the same, I don't know what the right term is, but they're on the same color vector basically, because one's a shade of the other. So I'll leave the box shadow alone. This color though, this color I do want to replace, but Timberwolf is kind of dark, right? So let's see. Let's just throw it in there literally, and I think what we're gonna find is that it's too dark, but let's try it. So I think what we actually want is a light shade of this color. I don't think we want this color literal. You know, it's it's really hard to tell. Like, it kind of works. But why is the color changing on the hover? Let's see. Those are the same colors. So like, I actually don't need to declare it twice. So let's take it out of the hover altogether, drop it here in the main color, save it. So now the font color should not be changing on hover. Oh, I refreshed the page, so that happened. Oops. Try globalizing your CSS color, like define global variable and reuse it. Yeah, that would be easier. I don't know if I can do that. Yeah, I'm not sure how to do that. So I think this arguably works. Cool. I think that works. I could lighten the color a bit, but I think it works. I'll put it to do like. Now I'll just demo it to the client, and if they want to lighten it, we'll lighten it. Okay, cool. So I think that is all of the use. See, that's the thing, right? There's only like 3 use cases. Framework for 3 use cases. No, it's not. It's really not. Okay, so what was the third color? Implemented Timberwolf, implemented Desert Sand. What about Artichoke? Are we using Artichoke anywhere? So the hover, when you hover and the letters turn green, that is the other color we're swapping out. So I think this is in the nav, top nav. Yeah, there's the top nav module CSS. Oh, my phone died. Let me throw this on to a charger. Okay, cool. So kudos to anyone who went over to Twitch and YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter and all the other places other than TikTok, because the phone died, so TikTok is dead. We had like 1,200 likes or something, and a bunch of follows. Yeah, so let's go to this top nav module over here. It won't let me navigate over there, which is kind of annoying. Like, why did it do that? I don't know. Whatever. Okay, we got here one way or the other. Cool. So the hover thing is not here. I'm not seeing any colors defined. Top nav styled like global CSS. So let's look in there. Yep, there's the hover color. And so Control-Shift-F, Control-V. So it's only used in one place. Cool. And we're swapping this for Artichoke. Cool. Now when I hover, it is artichoke. Awesome. So basically we have implemented the theme colors now. Yeah. Cool, so let's commit this. Oh, and before we commit, let's go check production. So we're waiting for production to build, refresh production. Favicon is unchanged. Do an empty cache and hard reload. And the Favicon is still unchanged. Let's double check and make sure that the build succeeded. Right, so the build does appear to have succeeded. Go to deploy details, new tab. We'll check the staging environment. Oh, open, published, deploy. So here's the staging environment. And you know what I did? I think, and so we'll empty cache and hard reload here. Yeah, so the old Favicon is coming through. I think I might have checked in the zip and not deleted the old one. Is that the case? What happened? Let's try and open this. Let's rename it to zip. Why is the old Favicon being stored? Okay, so definitely I uploaded the Favicon zip. What could be going on? Okay, so one thing I can try is deleting the non-Favicon zip files. I don't put the Favicon into Netlify. Oh, clear cache and retry deploy. Let's do that. I wonder if Netlify itself is using some sort of cache. Okay, so we will check that in a minute. What I'll try locally is, what if I delete all of these, or let's make a new, instead of deleting, I'll just say like dep for deprecated, and I will move all of these image files in there. So what this should do is it should break the website's ability to reference those as a Favicon. So here we go, empty cache and hard reload. But we see I still have my Favicon showing up there. Which means, yeah, and then if I like call this foo, this should actually break it. Yeah, and so now I broke my Favicon. So literally my local browser is reading the zip ICO, the zip folder that I turned into an ICO file. My local Chrome browser is reading it. But for some reason, Netlify was not able to like accept it and use it. I'm thinking Netlify just had like a Favicon cache, so we'll see. Okay, so in that period of time, Netlify has since published a new one. So let's go to the main prod. Here's the main prod, empty cache, hard reload. Still getting the old Favicon. In the main prod, let's check the staging environment. Here's the staging permalink, lucky donut. And we are seeing, oh, interesting. Okay, so we're seeing different behavior between these two. So that's interesting. So I wonder if this, let's go to my network tab. I wonder if this Favicon is cached on the Netlify side or on my browser's side. Network. FAV, so we're filtering for the Favicon. So the Favicon is a 200. Let's open this in a new tab. And that is what, so this is what Netlify is actually shipping us, which does not have a P on it. You see that? It's a blank favicon. Somehow my browser is still showing this P up here. So there's an additional cache somewhere. Yep. Okay. So let's see, Netlify zip favicon. How to add a favicon to your site. Favicons can also be emojis. That's cool. So here's a shortcut icon. So they're just leaving the type off. Create a favicon.ico file which contains 16 by 16 and 32 by 32. So wouldn't it need to be a zip file in that case? Most of them will ignore Favicon ICO. Let's use this. Select your Favicon image. No, demo with a random image, yes. Cool. Cool. So delete it. Generate your favicons and HTML code. Ah, so they link all of them. Okay. Cool. So I just need to reference all of them. So let's do 2 separate commits for this. So this will be not the Favicon stuff. This will be style implement theme. Commit that. Push that. And then separately, let's go over to the, not the app page, is it the index page? Might be the index page. Page wrapper. Next head. Okay. So I might need to do this the next head way, if there's a next head way to do it. Okay, so I can use these. Throw this in the head. Has no corresponding close tag. Oh yeah, why are they not self-closing? That's bad. Cool. So we have Favicon, and then there will be a let's get rid of this theme color. Actually, I guess that's fine. Tile color. This is all fine. Mask icon. Web manifest. Yep. Site. Is it site.webmanifest? Yes, it is. Let's pull these out of dep. Bam. F5. Delete you. Then I need to. So I guess the zip thing only. I don't know. It has limited support. I don't even know where I learned that. I learned it once upon a time. Okay. So here is. Oh, whoa. My mind's blown. This is the P. Was the zip working the whole time? It's like a magic trick. I thought this was I thought they all said HK. Where's that generator that I used? Got HK. Open sans 85. This is all looking good. Let's change the colors. So I'm gonna put this all in a backup folder. Just because I'm so thrown. This is about.txt. Maybe I did something wrong when I used tortoise git. I don't know. I'm super tripped out. How did this happen? Okay. So this was the greenish color. Artichoke. Right, we just did the white background and download, show in folder, move this to here. I'll make a copy of it just so for kicks and giggles. Is that an expression? I don't know. You tell me. And it's a P again. How? This is like a magic trick. Oh, you know what? This P that I'm seeing here could be cached by Windows Explorer. Yeah, look at that. I got tricked by Windows. That's embarrassing. Okay. Regardless, let's just go forward this way. This is more explicit, right? So we'll delete all of these. Unzip this here. It's going to be a little more explicit than having the packed up version. So we'll get rid of that. Properties, because you're a liar, yeah. And then let's just make sure these files are named inside of VS Code. So I don't have an Android Chrome 192.182. Here's the site web manifest. We can open with Notepad. Yep, so it documents the icons. So the icons are documented in the web manifest. So I'm cool with that. So I don't feel the need to put those. But I do need to name the manifest. I do want to go ahead and name, not the Apple Touch, but I do want to name the default favicon. Okay, line 24, I have the default favicon. And then 16 by 16, 32 by 32. 16 by 16, 32 by 32. Cool. I don't know why the 32 is listed above the 16. Maybe it's going to try and load the high resolution one first. Okay, so I feel good about this. Check the comments, make sure I don't have any comments. Yep, comments are looking good. Refresh my Git status. So we have the page wrapper update, yes. All of these things. Cool, so getting ready to commit this, but before I do, let's sanity check that it works locally. Locally, pretty much everything's been working, so this should be an easy test. Cool, so empty cache hard reload, and I see my favicon is there. Cool, and the sort of real test is, so this would be feed better favicon. So the real test is whether this stuff shows up in prod. Push, push, push. Cool. All right. Close this, close this. So we did the pictures, we did the theme, we did the favicon. What's left is the text content. So I have that in an email. Let's grab that. Da, 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 da. Cool. So let's see if prod has already built. No, probably not, right? Like we just pushed. So let's get a couple of these in, and then we will go check that. Picture on the left, my approach, title and paragraph to the right of the picture. On a white background. First section of the home page, a picture on the left, my approach. We also double check add an under construction, done. Connect domain, done. Add real content, in progress. Contact us, sends to Luminillo. Eliminate Netlify contact page. Oh, that's a sort of low-hanging fruit. So contact component. I don't know if I want to delete the contact component. I want to delete the contact page. Cool. Let's delete the contact page. Contact us sends to Luminillo. Here, and contact page left section should not be needed. Yeah, with the input form, this is not needed. But contact us strong link. Yep, so this should not link to, so is external is true, and we want to link to Luminillo. So this contact component is showing up on the home page. Yeah, the under construction mask. Bam, 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 looking good. And contact us opens a new tab to Luminillo. Perfect. Cat's out of the bag. Her name is Ripsme. Ripsme. That is her first name. Dr. Ripsme Calendarian, MD. License verified. Cool. Move homepage to Google Map to the side. Yeah, I forgot to do a couple of these. Send more pictures as needed, confirm colors. So those are done. Let me grab my notepad, my little handy dandy. Oh, content updated. Good thing I checked the following email. There's a newer document. Cool. So these are the remaining to-dos. I don't think, yeah, no, we're not going to get to the rest of this because I'm wrapping up the stream in the next 10. But by now, prod should have the Favicons. See, there you go. Favicons updated. This is the staging. Let's check the actual prod. Did I close that tab? Oh, here it is. Prod's updated, so Favicon's looking good. Let's just do one of these. Cool. So now I can commit my working changes, delete contact page. One might be a simple renaming. I think one of these changes is a simple renaming, so we can throw that in there as a bonus. Rename services FAQ, rename services to FAQ services, add FAQ section. Cool. For the pictures and color palette, with this change of layout, I do want to include a picture of me on the home page. I'm getting these taken on Thursday. Should be able to send them over pretty soon. Okay, so she already sent those because, yeah, she sent the pictures after that. Okay. I do like these colors for now, though, and then she didn't change them. So, so those are the colors that I used, and then I added black and white. So we're good with that. We can basically call that a done. Actually, that sort of relates to underneath. Yeah, I guess I'll just say below plus grayscale. Thinking desert sand could be the title color background. Timberwolf could be the background for the sections. And the green artichoke could be, oh, this is basically exactly what I did. So perfect that she and I were aligned. Timberwolf could be the background for the sections and the title background for the other pages. Yeah, this is exactly what I did. And then the artichoke is when the font changes. Yeah, cool. So we can actually delete all of that because that's all done. That's a relief. I thought I missed, like, she wanted to color stuff differently. Leaning towards the pictures, but would like to see this first before commenting. Okay, cool. So that's for the demo. It's not really a to-do. All right, so renaming services to FAQ services. You know what? Let's do these as two separate commits. Just because they are kind of different. They're kind of different, so whatever. So here's pages. Services page is head title services. We're going to change to FAQ services. Yeah, so I need to actually put the correct content in there. I need to move the Google map. I forgot about that. Confirm left link alignment. Need to fix that. This is like in top nav. So the left link alignment, if y'all care, where it says Dr. Patricia LaFont, there is a subtitle there, and we were going to confirm like what it says, and then also if it has a subtitle, it disturbs the alignment with the right hand, right? Because currently they're even, but if there's two lines on the left, do you make the right hand even with the top line, even with the bottom line? Do you put it in the middle? So I think she was going to confirm that. And either I missed it or she did not confirm it. So whatever, that's a super minor thing that she can confirm with the demo. So it sounds like the demo, there's going to be 2 or 3 post action items, but it's really not much if more stuff is not added. Okay, cool. So that's actually not a to-do for now because I can't, because I didn't get confirmation. This I need to do. This is like and plug in text content. So she sent me that. I'll plug that in off after the stream. And then I'll deal. Oh, here's for the alignment. I prefer the middle alignment. Okay, so right in middle of right in vertical middle. Awesome. So that takes care of that line. With this change of layout, I do want to include a picture of me on the homepage. We have a picture of you on the homepage. Cool. Cool. I like having just a title section and then starting the side to side and then starting the side to side layout of the page. I've attached an updated content document with some changes to the text to align with this design. This is the updated, yeah. Instead of a hero image and text, I like having just a title section. Okay, I'll have to think about what that means. So we're getting rid of the hero image. Maybe the content makes it clear. So we're getting rid of the hero for sure, which would seem to leave text. Is it just a title? A title section with color. Okay, so it's just text. Okay. I think I see what she's going for. And then, yeah, services FAQ in the top nav. So it still says services, huh? Oops. Yeah, top nav. So this is services, and this will be FAQ/services. Let's look at the document, FAQ, services/FAQ. Okay. So I'll align to the doc. That's like a small detail, but yep, and then the FAQ. Yeah, the FAQ is under the services, so it makes sense that it's services/FAQ. Cool. Services FAQ, services FAQ, and then let's go back over here, and we're not going to do FAQ services, we're going to do services FAQ. I'm loving it. Oh no, I hit that launcher, oops. Okay, so move homepage in this thing, add FAQ section, and plug in other content. Yep. Confirm link alignment. Yep, that's good. Instead of a hero, image, and text, I like having just a title section. Just a title section. Then start the side-to-side layout. Okay, I'm like wrapping up right now. Attach an updated document. Yep, got it. I'll wait to pick out the areas of practice until after the demo. Cool. So I think we're good. So 4 tasks by I think I'm doing the demo on Saturday. Today's Wednesday, so no problem at all. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. And then hopefully, you know, can't promise because there's a couple changes I need to do and there could be more after the demo, but yeah, in a week or two, this site should be released. And I'm really excited for that. So thanks for being here with me. See you later.